Hey, this is Kate from Empower 360 Fitness, and today I'm going to share with you 5 simple ways that you can achieve rockstar confidence in your teen or preteen. Here at Empower 360 Fitness, we strongly believe that self-confidence comes from within, and when your teen is feeling confident, they are going to radiate from within. So today I've come up with 5 simple ways that you can help encourage more confidence in your teen today so that they can start to shine from the inside out. Rockstar confidence tip number 1 is to celebrate the small stuff. So we work very closely here at Empower 360 Fitness with a company called Beautiful Minds. And Beautiful Minds is Australia's leading supplier of self-esteem and confidence education programs to teens and preteens. They work all over Australia with schools and conducting private seminars, helping teens to be able to achieve better self-esteem and better confidence. They also supply us with all of our content for the Empower 360 Teen Fitness Challenge, which is our online fitness program. Now, Marina from Beautiful Minds suggests encouraging your child to take a moment to write down all that they've achieved. Perhaps maybe they've done really well in a test, or perhaps maybe their sporting team didn't win, but they played their best. Whatever it is, it might be something as simple as tidying their room or paying someone a compliment. To be honest with you, I'm actually really happy if I just get through the entire day without running into something. I'm that clumsy. But whatever they're proud of, Marina suggests finding a jar and on a small piece of paper, writing down that thing that they're proud of for that day. And each day, they add to it. Now, you as a parent can also do something beautiful for your child, and you can write some little notes down on these bits of paper as well, the things that you're proud of that your child has achieved. And each day, you and your child can add to that together, and slowly over time, this jar will get bigger and bigger, full of beautiful messages and things that they're super proud of. And then when they have a low day, what they can do is they can go back to that jar and take out a few of these bits of paper and they can read them. And you'd be really surprised the effect that this has on a teen or preteen when they remember all of the wonderful things that they've achieved. Now, this is something that we do in every single one of our teen boot camps. Before every session, we'd start with what I like to call a pride circle. And what we do is we get everybody to stand in a circle, and they all know it's coming, so they're prepared. But I ask every kid to share something that they're proud of that they've achieved that week. Now, it doesn't have to be something massive. It doesn't have to be saving little old ladies from burning buildings. It can be something as simple as they set an alarm and they manage to get out of bed on time. Or often what I get is I'm just really proud of myself for getting through the school week. It doesn't matter what it is. The point is that it's then celebrated with high fives and claps and cheers from the rest of the team. And it's really amazing to see the immediate change in their demeanor when we start each session celebrating those small little wins. So tip number 1, celebrate the small stuff. Tip number 2 is to get outside and get moving. Now, you probably think from a personal trainer that this would be point number 1 for me. And I could easily go on all day about the importance of exercise. But I want to share with you today as to why exercise is important in developing self-confidence in your teen or preteen. And the main reason is because something happens to our brain when we exercise. Now, you probably know that teenage angst is legitimately a real thing. Scientifically speaking, the part of the brain responsible for calming and dampening the stress response are the last to mature. And in a teen or in a young person, they usually don't mature until around about 25. But the areas of the brain that create stress and create the stress hormones are fully developed by the age of 17. Now, anyone that's got a teenage girl might think that that part of the brain is fully developed by the age of 10 or 11. So, in short, with the stress trigger in full working order and the calming trigger still completely underdeveloped, it's any wonder that our teenagers are feeling more and more strung out than ever. Okay, so how does exercise help the already stressed out, strung out teenage brain feel less stressed? The answer is twofold: endorphins and cortisol. Now, endorphins, as most of us know, is the hormone that's released that gives us that beautiful, happy, vibey feeling. And it's released when we exercise, most commonly known as runner's high. Now, endorphins are also a natural painkiller and a natural stress reliever. Endorphins help regulate our appetite, they also enhance our natural immune response, and they contribute to an overall sense of well-being. Endorphins are also the same hormone that's released when we're in love. Now you can imagine that that's a feeling that would be vitally important for a teen to be able to access on their own. It's magical stuff, right? So, the more you exercise, the more we increase our endorphins. So the second most important hormone is cortisol. Now this is the opposite. This is the stress hormone. This is the one that we want less of. Now, when we exercise, our body naturally secretes cortisol. Now we do actually want this to happen because cortisol helps to increase our heart rate and our blood flow, which are all the things that we need for our muscles to be able to work and for our heart to pump blood through our system so that we can train and exercise efficiently. Now here is the really, really cool part. When we exercise and our cortisol increases, our body starts to build up a natural resistance to that cortisol. And when we stop training, our cortisol levels drop to lower than they did before. So the more we exercise, the more we increase our resistance to cortisol. And then the lower the cortisol is after we finish exercising. Now we don't just have to be exercising in order for that cortisol resistance to then take place. This also carries over into other stressful situations that your teen might experience, and then they have this natural resistance to the stress hormone cortisol. So, more endorphins, less cortisol, happy teen. So, simply put, more endorphins, less cortisol equals happy teen. Now, getting them outside to exercise is an added bonus because then they get improved sleep from the natural light, even lower cortisol levels from being in nature, and it gets them unplugged from their devices and actually having a face-to-face interaction with their tribe. Now, this brings me to my third tip. Find your tribe. Find your tribe. So many of our teens' interactions these days are online. Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook. How many times have you seen a group of kids at a bus stop? Not one single one of them is speaking to each other and they're all got their faces in their phones. Or even worse, you've had a friend over and they're sitting next to each other and they're still instant messaging each other or Snapchatting each other. Finding a tribe helps to your teen to give them the opportunity for face-to-face interaction. It provides a second circle of friends that might not be the same circle of friends that they have at school. And this can be super helpful. If things are going pear-shaped at school, there's another place that they can go or another circle of friends that they have where they feel accepted and loved. It teaches them to be part of a team. It teaches them to be part of something bigger than themselves, to know what it feels like to be relied upon, and the pride of not letting your teammates down. Let's face it, there's really no better feeling than achieving a goal and having your tribe around you clapping and cheering you on. Our boot camps offer exactly that. The opportunity to be the member of a tribe, a group of people outside of school who have your back, who are there to lift you up and encourage you. There's trainers who will role model healthy behaviour, and there's teammates to look up to and be inspired by. We also know that you can't escape social media. We know this, right? So we make sure that our social network is a place where teens can go to get no-nonsense, down-to-earth information on what to eat, also how to eat, but also workout inspo, all with a hefty dose of body confidence. Tip number 4 is to calm that cray-cray. We have school stress, we have friend stress, we have body stress, there's social stress. It's a lot for anyone to deal with. Now, meditation is a really, really fantastic tool to help calm the crazy and boost a teen's confidence and self-esteem. They learn to gain control over their thoughts and their feelings. Now, instead of being consumed by a negative thought or feeling, they've got the tools to be able to let that just simply float by. Many guided meditations also focus on positive affirmations or positive statements as the focus point of the meditation, which is also going to help to lift a teen's confidence. Meditation is a really fantastic way that a teen can cope with stress. They can boost their sleep quality. They can boost a teen's mood, and it can be done in as little as 5 minutes a day. My 7-year-old uses a sleep meditation in order to help her get to sleep at night because she's got this crazy mind that doesn't ever let her stop thinking. And I know that with my massively busy schedule, I absolutely rely on meditation as a way that I can come back to something that's going to help me to stay grounded and focus so that I can get through my busy day. A guided meditation is the easiest way to start, as you don't have to think about it at all. You just plug in your headphones and you float away with whatever meditation you've got going on. It's a really, really beautiful way to feel more grounded and centered. And now my favorite meditation app is Insight Timer. Insight Timer, because it's completely free and you can filter your meditations by how you're feeling, or you can filter your meditations by how much time you have. The shortest being 0 to 5 minutes. Now tell me that everybody doesn't have somewhere between 0 and 5 minutes to be able to recenter, ground themselves and feel more confident. Now I would strongly recommend that every member of the family start to use meditation as a part of their daily ritual. Step number 5 is to focus on what their bodies can do. Now this one is actually really, really close to my heart because as a teen, I spent most of my young adult life absolutely hating my body. So I want to fiercely encourage a move away from what our teens' bodies look like so that we can start to focus on what their bodies can do. Now I know I don't need to stress how damaging it can be for a teen's self-esteem to be constantly bombarded with these fake, curated images of toned, tanned, lean, or sometimes even downright skinny, lip-plumped, bow-topped, big boobs, so-called influencers that social media is flooded with today. Now, if there was one thing that I could rid the world of with my magic wand, it would be the hashtag Fitspo, which is nothing more than a one-way ticket to self-loathing. Each term, we conduct fitness testing at boot camp. Now, this is done so that everybody has a benchmark for what they can compare themselves against, so that when we come back and we retest at the end of the term, they can all see just how far they've come. And often, the results are absolutely astounding. In fact, the coolest thing just happened just this week. One of our youngest tribe members was able to improve her plank from 1:30 up to 3:15, and that was only in 10 weeks. Now, her mum was so inspired that she went home and she threw out her scales. She's decided that she wanted her daughter to grow up in a home where the only numbers that matter are the numbers that she has been able to improve upon in her fitness tests. That the scales do not matter and that her body is a vehicle for achieving amazing things. So, to recap, my 5 top tips for rockstar confidence in your teen is: number 1, celebrate the small stuff. Number 2, get them outside and get them moving. Number 3, find your tribe. Number 4, calm the crazy. And number 5, focus on what their bodies can do. Now, if you'd like any more information on any of our teen fitness programs, including our online program, the Empower 360 Teen Fitness Challenge, please send me a message and reach out. I'd be only too happy to help. Thanks for tuning in today, guys. Right now, we have 5 session passes available for the last intake of Teen Bootcamp for 2018. So if you want a teen that is happy, active, and confident, I encourage you to get in touch right now. Send me an email to kate@empower360fitness.com.au, or you can get in touch via our Instagram or our Facebook. I can't wait to hear from you.